Hello my fellow Lance players, my name is Proximal Head. Today I'm bringing you a Lance build from the Japanese Monster Hunter community. This build is called the Zombie Lance, and while there are a few variants going around, this particular build was inspired by M. Hashi and Sachibi's builds, and both of their videos will be linked down in the description below. So what is this Zombie Lance? The Zombie Lance is a health regen focused lance build based on the Kushala's Blessing and recovery skills. Despite it being a very defensive build, it still manages to deal decent damage. And with this build and a certain food item, you will become near unkillable with the incredible amount of health recovery that you have. If you want to skip or re-watch any parts of this video, I will have timestamps posted in the description below. And with that said, let's get into the build. As with most of the other Immortal or Never Cart Again type builds, this build uses 3 pieces of Kushala armor to get 3 levels of Kushala's Blessing. This will allow us to regenerate our health past the red, all the way to max. For the default build, we will take Kushala's chest, gloves, and leggings. Along with the improved recovery, Kushala's Blessing also gives us a very slight damage boost to our water and ice attacks, which helps influence our weapon choice later on. Our last 2 pieces of armor are the Kaiser Crown Helm and the Basil Coil Waist. While the Kaiser Crown does not have any of our precious level 2 decoration slots, it provides a lot of value through its 2 offensive skills, Critical Eye and Critical Boost. With the Basil Coil, the 1 level of guard is fine, but what we really want are those 2 sweet level 2 decoration slots. If you are a player who loves to counter monsters like myself, you might consider swapping the Basil Waist and the Kushala Gloves for the Kushala Waist and the Basil Gloves. Doing so lets us keep our decoration slots, but also lets us swap Guard and Agitator for Handicraft and Guard Up. Last is our weapon. I personally like the Barioth Sabertooth Lance the most, but the Gos Harag Lance also works. With the Barioth Lance, we have 100% affinity after weakness exploit, we have a few hits of white sharpness, and we have 1 level 1 decoration slot, which we can use for flinch free in online play. Feel free to swap these lances with another lance that has a level 2 decoration slot or higher. For ramp skills, I recommend Attack 4 for the Sabertooth Lance and Affinity 2 for the Gos Harag Lance. Now for my least favorite part of the video. Talismans. Ideally, we are looking for 3 levels of recovery up, 3 levels of crit boost, and 3 levels of weakness exploit. If you are lucky, you should have a talisman that can hold 4 of these skills. If you're like me, and you can only fit 3, you're going to have to make a compromise somewhere. I opted to take only 2 levels of critical boost, as a 3rd level would only provide a 5% critical damage increase. For our level 1 slots, 3 levels of speed sharpening is optimal. If you went with the Sabertooth Lance, it will help you quickly get back to white sharpness. And with the Sabertooth Lance, you should have 1 spare level 1 slot to fill. I recommend flinch free for online play. With our decorations now filled, our skills should now look something like this. You should have 105% affinity on weak spots, a few hits worth of white sharpness, and a 35 or 40% boost to critical damage. If we were to stop here, this build wouldn't be that bad. We have decent damage and health regen. However, there is a certain item which takes this build from good to great. That item is the Gourmet Fish. You can get these beauties by cooking fish with Yumogi. The item description states that the Gourmet Fish, quote, recovers the red portion of the health gauge and increases natural recovery, end quote. The natural recovery normally isn't very good. With our Zombie Lance build, however, the natural recovery is amazing, as it synergizes with all of our recovery skills and continues to work even after the red health has been filled in. As you can see here, the difference the Gourmet Fish makes in our recovery rate is instantly noticeable. Not even Teostra's Fireblight can make a difference in our HP while the recovery buff is up. The downside is that the buff only lasts a minute, and you can only carry 10 Gourmet Fish with you at a time. But for that minute, you are near unkillable, and as long as you are using the fish wisely, then 10 should be more than enough. If you are constantly finding yourself low on fish, you can trade your 3 level 1 grinder decorations for 3 level 1 satiated decorations and save the fish 45% of the time. However, I don't recommend this. And that's the build. Let me know what you thought about it down in the comments below. If you have any ideas on how to make this build even better or stronger, I would love to hear them. If you want to see more builds and secrets from the Japanese Monster Hunter community, let me know and I'd be happy to make more videos about them. And like always, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as it feeds the YouTube algorithm and will help others find this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.